Hey, what's up, guys? Ryan Celestain here from RyanCelestain.com, and it's actually a couple days after the Tulsa Run, a couple days before the Route 66 Marathon, and I realized I hadn't put out a video in a couple days, and I'm sorry for that, so I apologize. Um, but what's going on for me right now? I'm really getting ready mentally for the marathon. I've trained for it. Things have been going absolutely amazing in my trainings, and I'm extremely excited about this race. And it's really the marathon is really a chance for me to redeem myself from what happened to me last year. And last year, if you don't know, I trained for it. And I just had a horrible race day. I finished about an hour slower than what I wanted to finish, but I just had the paper in my hand, and this is the Tulsa World, and it comes out right after the Tulsa Run, and it lists everything about the race, who placed what and how and where and everything like that. And I was just looking over that, and I wanted to share with you what that experience was like, what the race was like, what it was like on race day at the finish, and then everything I started thinking about the day after, because I really stumbled across some amazing things. I had a lot of amazing experiences during the race, and I wanted to share that with you. And just by starting out, just to let you know, I know some of you are curious, I actually finished 86th place overall. Out of about 3,200 runners, I finished about 86th place, and that's amazing. I mean, it was so cool to be that and do that. And I finished 59:50. That was my time. And I was the last person to cross the finish line in under 60 minutes. So, I mean, it was just an awesome, awesome feeling. But I just want to take you back in time to race day and what it was really like on race day. I'm there at the race. I'm hanging out with some friends, and I'm completely calm and at ease. And I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. I was ready. And I don't know if that makes sense or if you can relate, but for me, whenever I'm getting ready to do something big, I'm usually nervous. And I wasn't nervous. I was just calm, ready, and relaxed. And it was what it was. It was race day, and that was it. And it was time for me to do what I said I was going to do. And I took that attitude and that mentality. And a beautiful thing, the gun went off, and I was in the zone. I just started running, and I'm passing people left and right, and it was awesome. I looked down at the 5K mark, and my time is 19:25. I'm just like, this is great. I'm right on track. I'm doing great. I'm ready to go. I feel great. And a woman ran up next to me, and she kind of passed me. I kind of passed her back. We went back and forth for a little bit, and I decided that at the pace that she was going, she was either the second or third place woman. And if she was a second or third place woman, I knew that she was going to run a sub 60. So at that point, in my mind, it was just stick with her. Stick with her. And I did. For another 3 miles. I stuck with her for 5K. So at the 10K mark, my watch says 39:15. I'm like, that's great. I'm right on track. I'm doing great. Keep on. Keep on going, Ryan. And it was awesome. I still was feeling good. And at that point, I decided, you know what? I don't want to try to stick with people. I want to lead the way. I don't want to try to hold on. I want to fight. So I started to fight. I started to push. I started to run harder. And keep that pace and push for myself. And I noticed I started getting tired. I was worn out. It was hurting. And the harder I pushed, the more it hurt, the harder I pushed. And it was brutal. And at the 12K mark, I know I was suffering, and my time was dropping off 5 seconds. 5 seconds, and another 5 seconds, and another 5 seconds. And I was scared. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I mean, I was giving it everything I had, but it just didn't seem like it was enough. And then out of nowhere, I heard a voice. And hey guys, I'm not crazy. I wasn't hallucinating. I wasn't an out-of-body experience, but I heard a voice, and it came from behind me. And they said, Ryan, calm down. We're almost there, and I look over, and it's a guy named Philip. And you remember a couple of weeks ago when I told you that I actually got some coaches? Well, this was one of my coaches. This is one of the guys that helped me out. This is one of the guys that helped train me. And he said, Ryan, calm down. We're almost there. Stop stressing out and just stick with me. We're right on target. Just stick with me. And when he said that, I was completely calm. I was completely at ease, completely relaxed, and I was running. It was amazing. And I can't even explain that situation, because here it is, the 12K mark. I'm tired. I've been running hard for a while now. And he said, hey, calm down. Run with me. And I was completely calm. And I just stuck with him. And, we passed the water up. I got some water, kind of got choked up and kind of lost my stride. And he went on. But I needed him right then and there at that moment. My time had started to slow down. And if he hadn't come in, there's no telling what would have happened to me. My time, I don't even know. And as we're approaching the last K, I look up and there's a gentleman that, he and I, we've been going together the whole race, and he started to walk. And he put his hands on his hips, his hands on his head, and started to walk. And another guy was like, no, don't quit. You worked too hard to get here. You're not going to quit now. And this guy is running and screaming at this man. Tell him not to quit. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Keep running. We're almost here. Don't quit. And the guy's like, man, slaps his hands, and he starts running again. And as I'm approaching the last K, I look at my watch, and I have to run 4 minutes and 10 seconds to finish a sub 60. That I have to. That's all the time I have left. The clock is counting down, and I'm running. I start picking it up. And at this point, I'm all alone. I can see people in front of me. There's no one behind me. It's just me in the road. And I go after. I say, you know what? This is it. This is my chance. This is my opportunity. And I go for it. And I'm going around the curve, and you can start to hear the announcer call names. You start hearing people cheer for you to say, come on. You're almost there. Come on. And I see the photographers taking pictures. I go through the intersection. I wrap around the last curve, and there's the finish line. Rows of people screaming, yelling, cheering you on. And then I hear him call my name. Ryan Celestain. I look up at the clock, and I finished. And I did it. I ran a sub 60. I ran it in 59 minutes and 50 seconds. And who's waiting for me at the finish line? Philip. He says, I saw that you were struggling, and I wanted to encourage you and help you out. And he went to shake my hand. I just gave him a big hug because, I was so happy and so excited. So I'm waiting in line to get a massage and get my muscles stretched out. And my girlfriend comes up to me, and she kind of has a weird look on her face because, she recorded the race, and, she recorded the finish, and she couldn't tell if I'd finished, under 60 minutes. So she was kind of looking at me like she didn't know what to say. She didn't want to say congratulations and me be like, oh no, I didn't make it. And she didn't want to say, oh, did you make it? And me be like, no, I didn't. So she just kind of, and I gave her a big sweaty hug, and her jacket was covered in sweat, but it was such an awesome feeling. I was filled with emotion and excitement and just accomplishment. And the three major things that I learned from that race